Good morning, everyone. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the Market Color brought to you by yours truly, the Value Flow Trading team. Today being Friday, the 5th of June, 2026, we're excited to have you all here on the Market Color community. And today we're going to be sharing with you various takes on the market, starting from analysis to various trade projections and what we're seeing the market doing and an interpretation of the behavior of the market within today and the last couple of days. And we're also going to be giving you projections on what we think the market is going to be doing as we head into next week. My name is CJ, and of course, I'm here with my colleagues, Lekon, Demola, Cynthia, and Abby. We're going to be taking you through the market color, just as I've explained earlier, as we ride on today and as we begin the trading day, starting off on the London session. So we're going to head straight into the chart as we kick off our analysis with gold against the dollar. Now, one of the very interesting things about gold is that gold kind of sometimes gives us an interpretation on what's going on in the market. Sometimes when gold is clear, you see that the market is clear. Sometimes when it's confused, it looks like the whole market is confused. So sometimes it's good to kick off on gold because of the current season that we're in and because of the current recent happenings in the market. We like to kick off on gold. So back to the chart. Now, looking at gold on the daily time frame, it's been a little bit unclear and clear at the same time what has been going on gold. Gold has been selling, but then it has not been selling as rapid as the previous time. So we need to be very, very cautious as we approach our sell bias on gold. Now, if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, you see that that sell bias is coming into light, it's becoming clearer. You can see that since it struggled to close above this high, it has been selling, but selling with deep retracements, which is quite normal and which is quite understandable. You can see how the retracement has been all the previous days that it has sold. Now, if you come to the 1-hour time frame, you see that it has had a clear sell structure since it broke this liquidity here. It broke this low right here, and then it started selling continuously. We're expecting it to keep selling, although right now it is avoiding this high right here because of this box pattern right here. We'll see that on the 15 minutes shortly, but then it's avoiding this low. So we're expecting a very deep retracement and then a continuation of the sell afterwards, except price continues to give us a buy. Now you can see that gold is buying off this level right here because this is the, you can see that this is the box pattern right here that gold is buying from. We might see further buys from this level if gold continues to be bullish for today. Okay, and one of the levels that we might see buy from is right here. We might see a quick retracement here, and then a continuation of the buy. The reason why we're looking at this way is because price struggled to take this low out, which is the next low, based on the movement of gold all this while. We're expecting it to take out this low, which is the low of Thursday. It has not taken out the low. Instead, it's moving to the upside. So we might see price buy deeper and deeper, a little bit more, maybe all the way to this level right here. So this could be a point of interest for a gold sell. So price could be selling, could be buying all the way here before the sell. Okay, just like the previous times, we could be seeing deeper and deeper retracements. We might be seeing gold buy into this level. So for us, we'll be looking forward to seeing a move on gold into here, and then we'll be buying it all the way here. So for me, my buy setup on gold will be from here. My stop loss is going to be here, right here, and then take profit will be right about here. Okay, just within this fair value gap. So this is what I'm looking out for gold. I want to see a sell-off into this region, and then I'm buying gold all the way to the upside. So for me, I'm expecting it to buy into this region. But however, even though I'm expecting it to buy there, I'm still expecting it to sell off from there afterwards. Okay, so while I'm expecting a buy, it's more of a retracement, but then I know it's going to cover quite a lot of pips, so I'll be interested in taking that all the way to this level and then selling it back to the downside. Now let's move over to the yen basket. Now, if you look at the yen basket, it has been bearish all this while, but then it gathered some muscles to pull up a bullish run, which ended yesterday quickly. So we're still expecting the yen to be very, very bearish. If you look at it on 4-hour time frame, you can see that it is slowly resuming its sell trend. So we're expecting bearishness on the yen moving forward as it has been in the past couple of weeks so far. So for the yen basket, we are clearly bearish, and with that result, we are expecting bullishness on GBP JPY, Euro JPY, and the likes. So for GBP JPY, we were very bullish, and we're expecting that bullishness to resume. Remember, one of the places we were targeting on GBP JPY, one of the places we're expecting to target on GBP JPY is this high right here. We're expecting price to come take out this high right here. So we'll keep buying it until that high is taken out. Since that is our reference, we're looking out for buys on GBP JPY. Now, if you look at it on the 15 minutes time frame, you see that GBP JPY is going ahead to break this high of the Asian session. So we're expecting a quick retracement and a continuation of the buy. One of the places I want to see a retracement to, so that I'll continue taking my buy on GBP JPY, is this level right here. So I want to see a retracement of GBP JPY into this level here, and then I'll be taking my buy. So with that, I'll be having a long bias on GBP JPY for today, especially during this London session. Of course, you can take your take profits way below there, and I will be targeting this high right here for GBP JPY. So this is what I'm expecting to play out on GBP JPY, and I'll be pleased to see it play out so that we can make some good money today being Friday. And then lastly, on Euro JPY, I'm expecting pretty much the same thing on GBP JPY on Euro. In fact, exactly the same thing. So I'm looking out for price returning to the high of the Asian session right here. And then I'll be taking a buy to the upside. So Euro JPY, I'm expecting a buy as well, just like on GBP JPY. We're going to be having about 15 pips stop. And then our take profit is going to be all the high residing above there. Okay. So this is my bias on Euro JPY. So we're looking out for a run in price to give us this amount of movement as we are expecting a bullish run on Euro JPY after a brief retracement. So we're looking out for a retracement on Euro JPY so that we can take our buy trades to the upside. Okay, so that is that for Euro JPY. Quickly, we're going to be analyzing the dollar index. We're going to be looking at one or two other dollar-related currencies like GBP USD and Euro USD. And for that, we're going to be having Cynthia join us on Market Color this morning to share her thoughts on the dollar and the dollar-related pairs. Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning, CJ. Good morning, CJ. That was such a wonderful analysis from your end. And I hope that listeners and participants of these sessions are taking note of every price point being called out here. Right. So we will just see what price has for us in DXY, Euro USD, and GBP USD. So, of course, the weekly time frame, nothing has changed. We still want to see price retracing at 107.490. And on daily time frame, of course, we know that price is reacting off this left shoulder at 97.912, and we are speculating that price should buy all the way and clear out and grab liquidity residing right here at 100.667. And on the 4-hour time frame, we actually had a bias that we're looking out for a bearish new move, I beg your pardon, a bearish move before the continuation of the bull move on DXY. However, what I'm seeing on my end on the 4-hour time frame is that DXY has been caught up in a range, right? But tending to the upside. And on the 1-hour time frame, we're seeing that the most recent price action seems bullish. So where am I interested in taking the buy of DXY from? I'm speculating that price will retrace into 98.979. And once price gets there, I want to go bullish on DXY. Right. So take note of this. I am bullish on DXY for today. Right, we actually analyzed that we are expecting some bearishness and continuation of the bull move, but price was being caught up in a range. And on 1-hour time frame, I'm looking out for buy opportunities, short-term buy opportunities, because on the 4-hour time frame you can see that price is actually ranging. Right, on the daily time frame for GBP USD, we can see that price is actually reacting off this left shoulder at 1.35500. Coming down to the 4-hour time frame, we're seeing, of course, that the most recent price action seems to be caught up in a range, right? In a range, but overall, we're seeing a price has broken structure, being caught up in a range, right? We should see a clear of liquidity, and then we should see the continuation of the sell to the downside. So we're looking out for opportunities to take the sell on GBP USD, right? On the 1-hour time frame, there's nothing clear based on the classic box pattern. I can't find an entry on the 1-hour time frame. On the 15 minutes time frame also, there's no entry for the sale yet, right? On the 15 minutes time frame, there's nothing clear for me right here to take the sell of GBP USD. Let's see what price has for us on 5 minutes time frame. 5 minutes time frame too. I can't seem to find an entry. If it is not obvious, it is dubious. Right here, this is not so clear, but shoulder sweep break, we should see price returning into 1.34708, and we should short GBP USD. It is not really a high probability trade, but I'm looking out for some sort of sell from that level on the 5 minutes time frame for GBP USD. On the weekly time frame right here, of course, we're still looking out for price to retrace into 1.06763, and on the daily time frame, price tapped into this left shoulder right here at 1.18003, and we're seeing some reaction of that level. Price has just been stalling. Right, price has been caught up in a range on the daily time frame, but eventually we should see price clearing out the low at 1.14155. And on the 4-hour time frame, let's see what price has for us on the 4-hour time frame. We're seeing that, of course, overall we're bearish, but we're kind of stuck in a range. And of course, we thought rather that in a ranging market we do nothing. We wait for price to pick a direction before making a decision. And on the 1-hour time frame also, we're seeing that Euro USD is caught up in a ranging market. Euro USD is a ranging market, right? So if we want to do anything here, we'll just be forcing the market to do what we think the market wants to do. Although bearish, but it is being caught up in a range right now. So my most preferred trade would be that sell on GBP USD, which is not even a high probability trade per se. So the best thing to do is just to stay out and watch for the market to pick a direction. Then you can then look out for entries and take opportunities in the market. With that being said, we will be heading straight to the synthetics market to see what opportunities the market has for us today and even over the weekend. Lekon, what are you seeing in the synthetics market today?
Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you very much. The synthetic market has been quite profitable since the beginning of the week, right from Monday. We've been a bit patient enough to see price trade into our setup, and this week it's been delivering so far so good. Starting with V75, we saw how the trade we entered in the course of the TDA on Monday for V75 when we took our buy right from this low at the 27,000 level, right? And right now you can see how that the bullish move was very fast, like from Monday till early hours of today. Although we were targeting our 1:3, meaning somewhere around this level was our take profit here, but we later saw how that price moved very much. And remember, your trading rule is one of the key things that instill your discipline as a trader, that instill discipline into you as a trader. So since we've seen price traded into where it is right now, now we are now in a sell party right from the beginning of the day, because if you look at it from the 4-hour perspective, you're going to see clearly how that we see. Remember, the buy we took was just more of a scalp, like want to just follow through the pullback, because we already see market structure shift to the downside here. We've seen a market structure shift here, somewhere here. If you look at it very clearly, you're going to see that we have a shoulder formed already, and this being the shoulder, but price traded all through into a POI here, which is this fair value gap, and at the same time we have a shoulder somewhere at the top here. Okay, and that is why you are seeing the reaction of price right now. Now the question is price going to create a fresh lower low? The answer is we are not sure, because after we see price, at this level here, you can see what price did somewhere here. After this massive consolidation, we saw the breakout to the downside again, and the pullback, and we expect more of push to the downside for price to sell. As a matter of fact, when price sold this first leg here, we expect that it's going to break all the way back to the upside, but the support that turns resistance here has been a strong one. You can see how many times price bounce from that level. So that is why we see a push to the downside, and this push that came all the way back down, we don't expect it to give a market structure shift on more of the higher time frame, which is 4-hour time frame. But it did, it sold further to the downside, and that was the reason we took the buy on Monday, just for us to follow the retracement. So in a nutshell, on the 4-hour time frame now, what we are still seeing is, yes, there's still room for price to buy all the way to this 4-hour shoulder, because this is going to be another premium level to sell from. All right, and when price come, tap into this shoulder, then take out this liquidity that we have here, then we are going to start looking for a very long-term sell again. But with what price has done here after breaking this structure here too, and is reacting from this level, I'm of the opinion that we should still wait and see what becomes of price. Then that brought us to the 1-hour time frame to see what exactly is there below that may be calling price down. And looking at that is just simple diagonal liquidity. That is what we have driving price currently. And where price is here, if we go to the lower time frame, let's say 15 minutes, we should see a boss pattern giving us a buy clue. Yes, this is it here, giving us a buy clue. However, it's not a very clear one, and that is why we won't push for it that much, because price came all the way. Even if it's going to work, then that means price should take out this liquidity here, while at the same time it shouldn't break this structure here. Is a mixed feelings that needs to be carefully traded. Okay, but we see how that price is currently reacting to this order block. If this is going to be a buy move, because this is a falling knife currently, if it's going to be a buy move, then this order block shouldn't be violated, and all we are going to do is go to your lower time frame to see market structure shift, be it 1 minute, be it 5 minutes. When you see market structure shift as a result of price reaction to this 15-minute order block, then we can easily follow through to the upside. But if not, price would be heavily bearish, trying to create a fresh low. All right, so that is that for the 15 minutes. As a matter of fact, if this fails, then the next bus stop price is coming to, based on this 15-minute time frame, is this level here. So price is coming here, while this low should be protected, all things being equal. If we did not see the buy move where price is currently is now, then we should see a bit one here. But remember, the buy is just more like a we want to scalp, because the overall trend is sell. Okay, so that should give us a very clean move. So far, so good. And then for V75 1X, you're going to observe that price is still very much within a zone where we are still watching what is going to become of price in the daily time frame. As a matter of fact, we have POI for a sell here, while POI for a buy below here. So let's dig it deep a little bit on the lower time frame for the V75.S. So if you look at it for V75.S on the 4-hour time frame, we are still expecting that price should still push a little bit more to the downside. However, if you look at somewhere around this zone, you are going to agree with me that there's still more room for price to trade up. And at the same time, we've not seen any structure that supports the sell to the downside. So what we are going to do is look out for lower time frame reaction around this zone, or we should wait until price entered into our sell zone for us to start selling to the downside. All right, that is that for V75 1S, V75, and lastly a quick look at V30. For V30, let's pick it from the daily time frame. You are going to agree with me that we are still very much bullish all the way to the upside, even though this was a scalp sell that we took the other time to the downside. But right now, on the daily time frame, we are still very much bullish. However, look at what we have here, where we expect price to react from for a sell because of that order block and this inverted hammer, which you can also call a doji. So if we look at it on the 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour order block at that particular level too, which we expect price to get to tap into and start selling. As a matter of fact, it seems price already tapped into it right now. So let's go to our 1-hour time frame to see the reaction. The reaction has been triggered few hours ago at the open of the day. So let's go to 15 minutes to see if we have an entry there. Oh, for 15 minutes, right about now, where price just tapped would have been a very good place to enter for a sell. However, I'm still of the opinion that let's wait. If this current candle closes bearish, we may take our first trial of the sell and follow through all the way to the downside. And where is the level where there's high probability we see price react from? Yes, there's high probability we see price react from this particular level for it to take, when it takes out this liquidity here. When price takes out this liquidity here, there's high probability for us to see price reaction there if we start selling from this zone. But let's check 5 minutes for confirmation entry. Good for confirmation entry on 5 minutes. Market structure shift, pull back. This is even a very sweet trade which we would have jumped into early hours of today around 7:10 a.m. because where this market structure shift, price pull back to take out liquidity inducement here, and then we are seeing it pushing, selling all the way to the downside. So this is a good one. If you are going to start selling somewhere around this level, we can easily begin to do that. And remember, the overall level where we expect price to trade into is our 73.13 spot 397. All right, so that is all for the synthetic analysis this morning. We'll be going into the indices market and we'll be hearing from Demola what is happening in the indices market and what are the opportunities we can easily take and share that system. All right, good morning, Demola. I think we lost Demola just few minutes right now. All right, so we are going to be hearing from the commodity side this morning again. Let's hear from the commodity if we are not if Demola is yet to be on board. Good morning, Abigail.
Hi, Lekon. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to the Value Flow Trading's Market Color sessions. Okay, so today I'm going to quickly run through commodity currencies. I believe we've gotten a lot of value from every other asset class that has been looked at by my colleagues. So let's round up this week with a look at the commodity currency market, shall we? Okay. So looking at AUD/USD on the H4 time frame, not much has changed. This week was predominantly a sell move for this asset class. Price was majorly a buy, and then the sell started to happen. I'm now looking at this major support level around here. First of all, before I even proceed here, I know it is important to say this. Not all of us will have these indicators, understandably so, because this is for students of the Forex Bootcamp community. So if you don't have these indicators on your charts, please don't let it confuse you. Just pay attention to the price point I'll be calling and use that to make some money from this market. So AUD/USD is predominantly a buy. However, we've seen a change of character around here and a major level that could be broken to give us that confirmatory breakout structure on the H4 time frame. So this has been selling, coming down to H1. You see that we have certain price points that price could come to retrace into before the sell is fully continued. So I'm going to mark that out. So this now becomes point of interest 1, point of interest 2, right? Price can break through all of this, come back to retest 0.71457 or 0.71726. Waiting for price to come and do this. And then when you retrace here, if these levels are going to hold, there's going to be sell continuations from here. And if this level is also going to hold, there's going to be sell continuations from here. But if they get violated, the buy may be in full force. Yeah. For now, we're watching to see what happens at these zones and watching to see what particular move is continued. Coming down to the 5-minute time frame now, we're just pretty much going to mark out levels for today and see how they work moving into next week. So this now becomes POI 1. This is now point of interest 2. Okay, so price has now broken through what could have served as a previous support or resistance, trading above. The next major resistance level is somewhere here, calling out that price level, which is 0.71485. So if price comes here, I believe this level is going to hold because of the trend indicator that has also come to stay right where we had the previous resistance. So price should buy into this zone, give us confirmations for us to continue to sell AUD/USD. However, since we are also aware of the fact that the market can also continue to buy, then I'll see if this does not give me a confirmation around this zone. I won't be in the market, so I'm not losing money either way. But now we'll be watching to see if price breaks above to come and retest the next resistance or the next resistance that are hanging around here. But for now, my bias for AUD/USD is a buy to sell. Looking at NZD/USD on the H4 time frame as well, what do we see? NZD/USD predominantly sold this week, violated a major level that we had marked out on Monday and continued to sell. And remember, we stated that we see confirmations for sales, we're going to act accordingly, and NZD/USD give us more sell moves, right? It sold into today's price movement. So price is currently here. Sunshine has been printed, but it is currently inside all of these indicators mixed up. I'll prefer to see a clear separation. But regardless, because of the sunshine indicator that has been printed, I'm expecting a temporal buy from where price is. A temporal buy into what would now serve as our major point of interest. POI 1 would now be 0.58851. Point of interest 2 would now be here inside the other indicator 0.59040, and this could now serve as our point of interest 3. This is even a zone, more of a zone than specific price point, but third POI would now be 0.58902. So price should buy into this zone. Same thing as AUD/USD, a buy to sell situation is what we see happening for this asset class. And then looking at the M5 time frame as well, so we can get our highs and lows that could serve as support and resistance level for us. Major points of interest. I'm going to zoom out to be sure that I marked out the right level for yesterday. Yes, I did. So yesterday's high has been marked out. Go ahead and draw the before yesterday's high into today's price movement right here. Pull it into today's price movement all the way in here and mark out yesterday's low and day before yesterday's low as well. So you see that the day before yesterday's low already activated. This is what is having as that support level. Price broke above, came back to retest, serving as support for the buy to continue into the next point of interest. So here's a temporal buy into our POIs that we have marked out, and I believe you've written down the price point as well, right? And then finally looking at USD CAD on the H4 time frame, what do we see? So USD CAD predominantly a buy this week. Sunshine printed, so we're expecting a sell to happen. I'm going to go ahead and take out these zones because they've already played their part, and I don't want us to get confused with, all the lines and indicators on the chart. I understand it can be, a bit overwhelming for people who do not trade indicators. So Sunshine has been printed. I'm expecting a temporal sell. Temporal sell into what specific level, Abby? What specific level are we looking at this sale happening into? Point of interest 1 is now 1.38615. Point of interest 2 is right here at 1.38138. Point of interest 3 is right here at 1.37210. So temporary sell to buy for USD CAD. I also pay attention to this. These are major resistance levels that when price eventually trades into, we should see relevant sales begin to happen from that level, right? So yes, there's still a bit of gap before price gets in there, but it is still a major level that we're looking at. So also pay attention to that. And then same thing we did for the other asset classes. Go to mark out our highs and lows on the 5-minute time frame. Perfect. USD CAD's buy was just beautiful this week. So yesterday's low is about to serve as a support level to push USD CAD to the upside. You see that price is already approaching it, already tapping into that particular level. Yesterday's high also marked out here. Day before yesterday's high into today's price movement, and day before yesterday's low as well. So what do I think is going to happen on USD CAD now? We are going to see this. USD CAD is already tapped into the zone. We'll see a buy that will trade back into this level. There's a lot of confluences around here. So USD CAD may continue to sell from where it may start to sell in sync with, the indicator that we just saw on the H4. So let's watch out and see what price does. Okay, as usual, my name is Sabia B, and this will be it for today. I look forward to seeing us on Monday, where we look at the market with fresh eyes and predict our moves for that week. Also, if you're a total beginner looking to learn how to trade, make sure you enroll for the Ultimate Traders course at the VFT Academy. It promises to take you from a total beginner, right, who does not understand anything I just said, to a pro trader who is able to not just understand but also make consistent weekly cash flow. All right, today is the weekend. Make sure you put time aside to rest, but also time aside to study and prepare for the following week. With that being said, thank you once again. I look forward to seeing you next week. Cheers and God bless. Goodbye for now.